Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of a horror film from the United States, English language, released in the year 2013, directed by Zachary Donahue. This film is called The Den. So The Den starts off with this young female. She has just come up with this new site. Now it's like chat roulette, where you go onto a webcam, you're talking to someone and you can click next if you want to skip them, and you just keep going through. So she needs a little bit of money so she can get this up and running. So she becomes involved with this group that are going to offer her money, but basically what she has to do is show them that it works. So there's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, she's going to be on this program just so she can show the new people she meets, some of the creeps she meets, and just to show that this site does actually have some value. So she's doing it. She's got a boyfriend who she neglects a little bit because she doesn't have much time for him. He's starting to get a little bit anxious about this whole thing, and it's the typical sort of dynamics between a girlfriend and a boyfriend when time gets in, when busy lifestyles, I guess you could say, get in between a relationship. So she's got the usual going on. Then all of a sudden she witnesses what appears to be a brutal murder. Now this murder, she takes it to the police. The police say that this could be a hoax, that a lot of hoaxes are on the internet, that it's easy to do, but she believes that it's authentic. And then all of a sudden her boyfriend goes missing. Now they don't know where he's gone, but then she starts to believe that the brutal murder has somehow, the person who committed this brutal murder is somehow connected to the disappearance of her boyfriend, because she starts getting these very creepy messages, and this unknown person is starting to stalk this woman. So the situation gets a lot more horrific, and what happens at that point on is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on The Den. I thought this was a very interesting film. Now it's not a movie that's going to blow you out of the water. It does have its problems. I thought it dragged in places, and I thought it lacked a little bit of attention to detail in the characters, but I thought it was fairly authentic within the found footage subgenre. Now the movie is based on webcams, and it's been done before on webcams, but I thought this approach was, at least it was trying something. It wasn't just flogging a cash cow with the found footage. It would have been easy just to have a camcorder and just do the usual, but this one, at least it was trying something new within the Tide subgenre. So for that I have to give it credit. In some instances it worked, in other instances it didn't. The common problems of why would you be filming when you're being attacked, that kind of thing. So you've got to dismiss, you've got to have a suspension of disbelief, you've got to dismiss some logic, and this is a horror film, so ultimately a horror film has to be entertaining, and if they're going to do everything in a realistic fashion, then it's not going to be interesting. If the person dropped the camera and ran away when they were getting attacked, you wouldn't have anything to watch. So you've got to make some allowances for unrealistic behaviour from these characters, otherwise the film just wouldn't be worth the time and effort. So I could forgive that, but I like the overall tone to the film. At the start of the movie it does drag a little bit. Now it does take a little bit too long to get to the good parts. The movie wants to be entertaining. It's not trying to send out a serious message. Although the message is there about the dangers of the internet, it's never trying to be a serious type of film. It's trying to be a fun movie, an entertaining film. So for that purpose, I thought the time it took to really get into the characters, I thought it was a little bit unnecessary, because although it does take time and it is a bit of a slow burner, it doesn't really go anywhere within the characters. You don't get a connection to her, and you don't get a connection to the boyfriend, and it's only done through webcam, so you're only judging the person on their behaviour on the computer. You don't really get an insight into their life away from the computer. So the slow build-up felt a little bit unnecessary. It kind of contradicted what the mood of the film was, but when the movie actually gets going and the creepy stuff starts to happen, I thought it was fairly effective. I thought the villain in the film was very creepy, wearing a mask. I thought there was a little bit of a twist at the end that I thought was a little bit, but I could forgive that because it stays true to what it is. It's a movie that, it does document the dangers of the internet. Now a lot of people out there say, the internet's not as dangerous as a lot of these films make out it to be. Yes, it is. I'm afraid it is. There are some pretty ordinary people out there who will do horrible things, and you never know exactly who you're talking to on these sort of social networking, like the chat roulette. You never know exactly who you're talking to, and that can be freaky. And that freaks a lot of people out. And I copped a lot of criticism for my Megan is Missing for my Megan's Missing review, saying that, you know, teenagers don't act like that, the internet isn't as dangerous, it's all made up by the media to scare people off. Well, I have to say that I tend to agree with the media in some aspects, as that the internet is a very dangerous place. We take for granted that we're safe because we're within the confines of our own home. But as I said, you never know who you're talking to, and this movie documents that perfectly in that, yes, when she's talking, she is basically showing herself to these strangers and without knowing who they are. So there is a danger there, and although the danger in this film is exaggerated to the point of being entertaining, I thought it was kind of nice to have an entertaining film, but at the same time a movie that is a social commentary on the dangers of the internet and how the internet works and how easy it is for someone to assume an identity to trick somebody. So The Den, it was a fairly enjoyable film. I got a lot more out of it than I thought I would. I thought the ending, although the twist was a little bit of a cop-out, the way the film finished, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I thought it was quite brutal, and it was a welcome payoff for what was a movie that is a slow burner, but when it gets to the good stuff, it really kicks in. So if you're getting a little bit bored at the start, I would highly recommend you keep at it, because it does have a rewarding payoff. As I said, the twist is a little bit of a cop-out, but it doesn't ruin the experience, and overall this movie is well worth the hot time and effort. So I'm going to recommend it, and I'm going to give The Den 3 stars. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.